Hello everyone, welcome back to Ansarkari. In this video, we'll be dealing with two questions of the topic proportion. And the first question for today says, find two numbers such that their mean proportion is 12 and third proportion is 768. Since we understood in the previous question कि mean proportion का formula क्या होता है? It is x equal to root of a multiplied by b or the two given numbers इनके हम ratio की बात करते हैं. Then third proportion में what happens is x is equal to b square divided by e. And यहाँ पे a b a b a b a these are all the numbers that are given in the options. So next what happens is we need to check. Okay, now here they're not asking us that what is the mean proportion, what is the third proportion, like normally it happens. Here in this question they are asking us to find the two numbers जिनका के mean proportion and third proportion is already given to us. How will we do it? First, we'll focus on the part of mean proportion. So since we know that mean proportion is 12, we know that root of a multiplied by b is equal to 12. Or a multiplied by b is equal to 12 multiplied by 12 or 12 square in simpler words, which is equal to 144. तो यहाँ पे we need to check कि कौन से ऐसे numbers है जिनका कि when we multiply the products comes out to be 144. Now we know that this cannot be the correct answer since 3 and 24 का product is not 144. And same is the case with 3 multiplied by 48. Here also 144 is not that since we have 120 and then 24. Or perhaps we do here instead. So here I went wrong. Their product is 144, so your option में हो सकता है. Rather 6 multiplied by 48 cannot be the option क्योंकि इनका product नहीं है. And even 6 multiplied by 24, even their product is equal to 144. So यानी कि A and C are eliminated, B and D can be the options. Now they are saying what will be the third proportion. So third proportion we'll have to check. Okay, third proportion is 768, which means that 768 will be equal to b ka square. So we can try putting here 48 multiplied by 48 and we can have 3 here, right? Because that is what it actually means. And we can check कि क्या ये जो दोनों parts हैं ये equal आ रहे हैं. So when we check, we go here by 1 and then 6. And when we multiply them, so first we'll have 16 goes up. So on multiplying them, we'll get the product as 768. 768 will get the product as, and therefore 3 and 48, they are the two numbers that we have here. Therefore, this will be the answer to this particular question. Okay, ये just two numbers because if we try putting here 24 multiplied by 24 and then we divide by 3, example here we have 8. So here on multiplying them, we won't get 768, pretty obvious. Even by seeing that the numbers you can make out here very easily. Okay, this will be the answer. So now let us move on to the next and the last question for the topic of ratio and proportion. So this question now says the compound ratio of the inverse ratios of the ratios x ratio 5 y multiplied by z, y ratio z multiplied by x, and z ratio x multiplied by y. So they're asking the inverse ratio, compound ratio of the inverse ratios of the ratios or these. So the given ratios, first we'll write the given ratios as they are given. I'll write a comma at. So y divided by z and x, and here we have z ratio xy. And then these are given to us. Okay, these are the given ratios. Now they are saying inverse ratio. Here there are two terms that are given. एक is compound ratio, second is inverse ratios. अब दोनों होते क्या? Inverse ratio, as simple as this term suggests, we just simply have to do reciprocal of these ratios. तो इनके inverse ratios क्या हो जाएंगे? They will be yz upon x, zx upon y, and xy upon z. यानी कि जो denominator है that becomes numerator and the numerator it becomes the denominator. In very simple words, this is the meaning of inverse ratios. Second term says compound ratio. Now what does compound ratio mean? So compound ratios are simply when we multiply all these ratios. It is a multiplication. So what happens here is when you multiply these, we get here yz multiplied by zx multiplied by xy upon we have x multiplied by y multiplied by z. As simple as it is. So we get xyz multiplied by xyz, and on denominator also we get xy and z. So we can cancel here. So we'll get the ratio as xyz upon 1, or the final ratio will be xyz to 1. So this will be a final ratio, or the answer to this particular question will be xyz ratio 1. So two terms we understood here, compound ratio and inverse ratio. So proportion topic was that much. I hope you understood the concepts of mean, third, fourth, proportion, and of compound ratio and inverse ratio. Thank you all for joining. I hope the topic of ratio and proportion was made a bit simpler to understand, and the questions that were provided were of variety. Thank you for joining. I hope you understood and liked the videos. Thank you for watching.